Listen to the old story.
So Behold the Lamb of God is a tour that's been going on actually for 18 years. It's a collection of musicians and artists. It's a piece written by an artist named Andrew Peterson. And his whole thing behind it was he just wanted to write music, Christmas music basically. But his passion was always music that involved dulcimers and acoustic guitars and percussion and dobros and all pianos, everything, a lot of acoustic stringed instruments. And so he wrote that. He wrote a collection of songs that told a story of basically the coming of Christ.
So sing out with joy for the brave.
So the tour is very complicated in the sense that there's 10, 11 people on stage at any given time. Sometimes more, sometimes we have special guests that come in too. So with that presents the problems because there's only one audio guy on the tour. And so quickly when I started the touring this thing about 8 years ago, in order to monitor that many people effectively, when I say effectively, we know that in-ears, I know that I need to do in-ears just because the amount of people and the amount of volume that we're going to have on stage and the sensitive instruments that are on stage. And so it needed to be as quiet of an environment and try to have as much separation as possible. So definitely wedges are out of the question. So it was in-ears. Well, how do you monitor 10, 11, 12 people on stage from one console? And the same console as doing in front of house. So to me, the solution was in a personal mixing system. For me to give them feeds and then for them to be able to mix themselves. Because I knew that trying to handle front of house and then 12 in-ear mixes was just going to be a very daunting task. So this year we decided to try out the Klang fabrik system. I had demoed it, I've seen it, I was intrigued by it, and thought this could be a really great thing for this tour. Immediately, I started getting comments back from players. Man, the size of my mix, the clarity of my mix, how it doesn't sound like I'm just plugged up in some ears, how I can get outside my head, when to be able to grab audience mics and place them outside of their standard left and right, those kind of comments, and a lot of these comments came as adjectives because a lot of times, they're not telling me, they're using words like clarity, they're using words like definition, they're using words like space, they're using words like I can pick things out, those kind of things that I'm not used to getting. Obviously, with this many channels, the mix is dense, and there's no tracks on this show at all, and so at any one time, you could have 60 inputs going, and so that is a lot to take in and to try to make room in a mix, and so when I'm getting those kind of comments like clarity and like I said, definition, and I can pick things out, and those kind of things that's very valuable to me.
Story of the power of death undone by an infant born.
It thrills me to death that what I'm hearing is what they're hearing, and they're pleased by it, and so the lines of communication and the trust level from the stage to front of house it's gone through the roof, so it's great.